Right, so I just want to quickly apologise. My PC crashed, as it sometimes does. So it's an issue that I need to get fixed. Actually, basically, it crashes after like an hour and a half for some reason, and this was after my PC like fried, and I got a new graphics card. So I suspect it's something to do with that, but I have no idea, which is fun. So I'm going to add my webcam back on. Just 1 second. Add a video capture device. Make it so I'm not absolutely huge. There we go. Back. Me a little bit big. Ooh. That looks about right, I think. I don't know. I'm new to this. Oh, I bet it hasn't saved some of those changes I just made. Don't know, maybe it will. We'll see. I also think I know what the cause of the materials not updating is. Like I said, if it's updating for one, it should update all of them. So, what I think I do is... oh god, yes. Right, so what I think I do, set the material at the start, using that little array modifier thing that I had at the beginning. Then I should just be able to add new items to the list, and that should just do its thing, basically. And then I can use my array indexing as part of that to essentially choose what material I actually want. And it also has the side effect of making the set material thing redundant, because it's already baked into the model essentially. We're just choosing what part we're referencing. Right. It's gotten rid of some stuff, that's weird. Right. Okay. Bring that up. Moment of truth. Can't even remember what I was doing, not gonna lie. What did I do? So, so it did actually put the changes in. Let me just compile it again, just in case I didn't compile it before. And if it's a quick compile, then it's done, but if not, then I'll have to re-edit this and just make sure that I did whatever I did before. I think I did, because I think what I did is change that from a 5 to 2, 3, 4, and then same down there, so that should be okay. like that. I suspect that'll work. Come on, that should be saved. Why is that doing that? Grrr. Compiles always take forever, when I'm first doing it at least. Hopefully when the code base gets like absolutely huge, that shouldn't be a problem. Like it shouldn't just, I mean I know it will get worse, but I think there's a way to turn off complete rebuilds every time you open UE4, so I'll look into doing that at some point. Might even do it on the stream, because I still need to open up the whole thing to version control. And I don't know if I'll have time to do that off stream, but I might be able to look into doing it on stream, and then at least you guys can follow along and see what I'm doing. Right, finally complete. So that should reflect the changes just made. Yes, it does. So that's actually working. Now what I want to do, save that, overwrite it. Cool, done. Recompile. Probably have to recompile that entire page, actually, thinking of. Shouldn't have to do the headers though, fortunately. Right, try it again. I can't see. Well, actually, that might just be updating on the first block. No. What I want to do, grab this and put it up here. It's a new thing I made. Where is it? Here we go. I think I'm doing something wrong here. I'm doing it in a really stupid way. Wait, no, I'm not. Ignore me. I'm just going to test this though. I think it's IX, I think it's that way around, yeah. I don't know, position 0. Nothing will be in there though, so I don't know, scary stuff. Are we to set all materials, potentially? I don't know. In fact, let's not do that. I feel like that's going to break it. I feel like I'm very close, that's the annoying thing. I feel like once I've got this nailed, then we're good. It's just this one part that's kind of tricky to work out. So yeah, that seems correct. So I'm choosing from the right material pool. I need to just set all of the, I guess all of the different materials for each of the faces and also each of the well. How many have we got? Quite a few in total. It's just all wrong. No, this isn't what I want to do at all. Right, let me work this out. Right, so we've got multiple lists. All with different shapes on. We also need to know what shapes we're referencing. Oh, so that would mean... Oh my god, this is very convoluted and complicated. I know that this will just mess with everything, but I kind of just want to see what it does. Like, this isn't correct. Basically, the dilemma that I have at the moment is, I keep on pointing at the screen as if you can see what I'm pointing at, but basically, this column here, in my head I was thinking this was referencing the different faces, but it's not. It's actually referencing the different block type lists. So what I'm going to try doing is just targeting every block type list basically, and just hoping that it accesses something. But I also appreciate that it could cause a crash, because if it looks outside of the bounds of that list, in a list where there isn't any objects, then obviously it's not going to work. What I could do is do all of this model updating stuff inside of the function that I was previously working in, just making the whole material function obsolete basically. But yeah, this works. I think that's right anyway. They've not even changed those, it's just 0 and 5. Yeah, I think I'm going to nuke this entire thing. Yeah, it just all it means is just adding the materials into here. Like, I know it's a bit of a pain, and it means expanding the lines in each thing. Isn't ideal, but it is the only way to get it so that I'm not, so that I'm accessing the correct shapes without having to rewrite basically a case statement each thing. So basically, yeah, let's copy, well, cut one of these and delete the rest. There we go. But I've just scrolled past it, haven't I? There we go. Right. So for each one, access element 0 and element 5. What this should do is access the top block. I'll just test that quickly. Basically, just so I know that it's doing what I think it's doing. So the top block should be the only one that's changed in this case, since I've removed all the other code. No. Right, okay, fair enough. Basically, I don't know what I'm doing, and there's too much going on, and it's confusing, and there's numbers and IDs everywhere, and it's awful. Right, let's go through this step by step. So we're accessing instance models and materials element 0, which is the flat one, I think. Yeah, with the material in there, right? Then we're setting the material for the index of the thing that we've just made. I'll try it with one of the side panels. I have a feeling that's got more of a chance of showing up. What might be happening is the material might be getting set on the bottom one. That might be what's showing up. So for that, I would need to change this to 5. Excuse me. And that to 1. Yeah, makes sense to me. So I'm accessing the flat block panel of the material type that's selected. Sorry, the rectangular panel of the material type selected, and we're setting the material for the index position of the previous block that's just been made. Right, that makes sense, I think. There's a lot going on though. So. F in chat, boys. Why have all of them been updated? That wasn't what's supposed to happen. Maybe the index doesn't matter then. Maybe it just does it. Oh, I'm confused. I don't know. Shouldn't be doing it for all of them though. But yeah, I'm going to do that because I think the materials are shared. So I'm going to just basically take this and just put it in the top part anyway, see what happens. Give it an index element of 0, so it shouldn't matter. So this one basically just nothing. The material variance is X, and the thing we're looking at is I. basically I need to put this in another case statement for material types. But this should just change everything to green, from what I understand. Because the index shouldn't really matter. Yeah, let's just see if the top blocks have actually been changed. Yeah. Great, so I know that that works. It's actually a massive performance increase as well, because I'm not having to redo everything every frame. Just at the start, which is great. Basically means I can nuke everything else, which is awesome. Right, so now that actually works, let's work out how to do this properly. So that material, bin it, basically, on it. Although that being said, sorry, no, ignore me. That is correct because we're just rotating it around. That's fine. There's so much going on with this indexing. Maybe I've not done it in the most intuitive way. If I can't understand it, then you know, I'm the one that built it, then we have a problem. But luckily I'm the only one that ever sees this code base, so it can be like a little secret, let's say, between us guys, that basically my code base is very hard to use. Not that that's a surprise, I don't think, to at least me. So now I need to work out how I want this to work. I think what I'm going to do is for each I type have another case inside each one, deciding basically what X I want to set. I think that's fair. In fact, yeah, I'll rename these to something that actually makes sense. Panel. There we go. There we go. Makes sense. Material. Nice. So basically now we can decide for each case, so for each model setup, what we're doing, which is great. That's exactly what we want to do. Basically means as well, Josh can come up with a texture, I can grab it in editor, and then in this one function I can decide how all of them look, which is perfect. I can choose a model, I can choose the material type. So if I want to change the model based on the material type, then this is exactly where I'd do it actually. Might be really good actually for like normal maps and stuff like that. Very nice. Maybe not the nicest looking thing in the world, but oh well. It'd be nice if I could register these names in some kind of like array. Nah, it's not worth it. I'm basically just doubling my workload, aren't I, for no reason. Just because I'm being lazy, essentially. Right, let's grab this. There we go. Put it in here. In fact, no, it'd be case 1, because case 0 is for air. Right, isn't it? Material 0, yeah, material 0 is air, basically. So in this case, it'd only update the top one, if I'm not mistaken. Basically saying for the panel and material that we're looking at, we want it set to the grass color. makes sense, I believe. Try compiling that. Might take a bit of time. In fact, while that's doing it, I'm just going to go to the toilet quickly. Right, sorry about the wait. Luckily the toilet's literally right next to my room, so... Yep, so let's just change the top block. Awesome, that's exactly what I wanted. In theory now, this editor should be really smooth. I mean, obviously spawning stuff in is still a bit laggy, but once we've converted everything over to these new meshes, in theory, it's not a problem. Nice. So in this like matrix of stuff, I can just present all the different material types. So for that, for example, I don't know, what other stuff have I got? I think I've got any other material types. Currently, at least. No. I'll leave it like that for now. There's no point adding stuff that I don't need to. But I can just grab this and drop it into each one of my... Let's make sure I'm not duplicating stuff. How have I managed that? Did I copy the break as well? There we go. This is probably one of the most horrendous looking things that I've made so far. I wish, one thing that I really wish you could do in C++, and to be honest I don't understand why you can't do it, because it's basically just a simplification of this, is I don't get why you can't have switch statements that have two conditions and then just use both in your cases. Like, that to me would make a lot of sense syntax wise, because it's just similar to array structuring, but I guess compilers don't do it, so guess we're stuck. This is what I want. There is one downside to this system, actually. That being said, it's an easy fix. So basically, oh no, it's not an easy fix, is it? Basically, what I might have to do is make an entirely new set of cases for every inverted block, so every underneath block type. Because thinking about it, like obviously if you're looking at a block from underneath, you don't want it to have a grass texture. It doesn't make any sense. But gameplay-wise, you'll never see it. So, do I add it in? Extra effort. It also makes this function look horrible. Then again, it's fine. I'll leave it for now. It's alright. Basically, it's one of those features that I don't really need to fix unless I need to fix it. Which I can't see a reason why I'd need to. Not at least currently, because we don't know what the camera is going to be like yet. Maybe in the editor actually thinking about it. Yeah, that's a good point. Be very fun. Right, okay. Yeah, we need all of the existing panel variants plus the underside ones. And don't need the inverted ones either, so I need to up it by an extra 5, is that right? Yeah, so this gets basically increased to 13. Where's my... This I need to convert over to using these, otherwise it makes no sense having them in the first place. If I have to do 2 times the amount of work every time I change it. There we go. So I need to copy all of the cases from here to case 4. Yeah, that's right. Put it down here for the default. Should take me up to 12, I think. Yep. Oh, but then what if it's flipped upside down? Oof. Means I need an extra set of conditions for every rotation type as well. Well, technically only the inverted ones. How did it work before? So before... Right, so before it wasn't actually tied to the shape, it was tied to the... literally just the material that we were setting on it. Because we're setting all materials for all shapes, it doesn't work like that anymore. So I need to do additional work on top of what I've already done. Oh, this is a massive headache. Right, so... I appreciate, by the way, that this live stream has just been a lot of me scratching my head and then realising there's problem after problem after problem, so I do apologise for that. We'll get there eventually anyway. Once this problem's solved, I'm hoping that work can just speed up on the editor, because this optimization is massively important for what we're doing. Basically what I'll do, for each thing, I'll just convert over what model it uses. So I'll have like a little if statement in here that says basically what thing it is. That didn't make any sense whatsoever. Basically what I'm saying is if the rotation is greater than I think the rotation is greater than 4 in the rotation field, then I will change what model instance it uses, which will then change what thing it's using up here in this like grid that I've laid out. I think that makes sense. So we'll just add however many to this, basically. The side panels are going to be the same no matter what. I don't think there's any case in which they're different. No, I don't think there is. And I'm only really swapping around, where is it? I'm only really swapping around the top one, so I can just actually just wrap around that. Basically I'm just changing this number here. So that actually makes my life a lot easier. I can just do, what would it be? Greater than, I think it's 4. If it is, then we return, let's do less than. If it is, we return 0. That's not the syntax, there we go, it returns 0. If not, it returns, returns 8. Oh really? Funny about it because it's a short? You can't, are you serious? You can't compare shorts and ints? That's well annoying. Well, I guess my variables are getting bloated then. Unless I just convert, can I just convert that to a short? No, it'd be a dynamic cast, wouldn't it? I don't think I can. I guess I could make a variable, but it's just stupid. Either. Let's make these ints, why not? everything can just be an int. I hate that everything is an int, but everything can just be an int. I think in my function declarations as well, I've got shorts everywhere. Yeah. Whatever, I'll optimize it later if I need to. Not as if like memory management's a thing, right? Basically, I need to do. When I'm done with this anyway, I need to work out what the actual sizes or like potential sizes of these numbers are, so that I can convert it to the correct data type. So I think even short is too big for my purposes. So what I'm going to do is convert literally everything over. It's going to take ages. Actually, yeah. What am I doing? This is stupid. I'm being lazy again. Go back. Okay, whatever. I'll figure out how to do this. Compare short and int. The thing is with me is I'm very indecisive, but I find I generally settle on the right result in the end. So just on the side, I'm looking up how to compare short and int. I have an easier solution. Like I said, what I'll do is I'll make a variable here. That comment will probably make no sense to anyone but myself, but it's the only thing that matters at this point. The thing is that I don't like about what I'm doing at the moment, and this is not like necessarily a problem, but I basically don't like the fact that I'm having to take so many shortcuts. Like, if it were me, I'd spend literally hours just perfecting all of this code, but I know that realistically it doesn't matter, because if it doesn't get to an end product, then what's the point? Like, if I could slow down time just to make this code base better, I would, but obviously it's just not something I can do. What's it not like now? Oh, so it wasn't even complaining about that before. I'm such an idiot. Stupid. Alright, there we go. Real noob hours, boys. Like documenting this whole process. It is kind of like revealing to me actually how many silly mistakes I make, and I know that most programmers probably make similar mistakes, but I don't know, it's just, it highlights just how common just stupid errors are and why programming can be so annoying sometimes. It's like you can know you're doing something wrong, like easily know you're doing something wrong. Right, so just double checking the threshold. So it's 4 or greater. So yeah, less than 4 return 0, greater than, do that, great. quick note. Right, so I hope that comment makes sense, but basically what I'm saying with this, and the whole point of me adding this little bit of extra code in, and also this extra set down here, is to basically say that if a panel type is upside down, we might want it to have different visual characteristics. So a grass block, as a good example, flipped upside down isn't just going to still be a grass block where the top piece is now on the bottom, because having upside down grass doesn't make any sense. Instead, what we'd do is say, sure, the bottom piece has been flipped around, and that's also another good point. I also need to set the bottom block down here to change material depending on what's set up as well. So this one, right, I think. Also don't know if I need those brackets in there. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, we're either looking at the flat block or the upside down flat block. Actually, these are inverted. One, yeah. There we go. The other way around, basically. Try that again, just make sure nothing crashes, there's no errors with that. Shouldn't be, it should be fine. Sorry, got Messenger open on the side, getting distracted. Oh dear. Did I just not set the block for the bottom ones? I guess not. That looks cool though, I'll give it that. Right. Let me double check I actually set a material for those. So I said it was 8, wasn't it? Yeah, that should be fine. I want to see if the index that I've given it just doesn't work. Swap those back. Obviously it's not what I'm going for, but at least I know where the problem lies then if this doesn't work. Basically then it'd just be I'm not setting the model correctly for that position. Yeah. Should work. Is it that the case would never get to that point? Should do. I believe I updated the numbers as well. Or did I? Yeah, panel variants are altered. Copy all of this just in case and put that in case 8. Why would that not work? It's worked in every other instance. Odd. Does it set it upside down? No. Hello? Do you want to work? Oh, I'll tell you what it will be. I've not rotated it around. Not in that position anyway. Basically, copy this, put it in my rotational code. I don't know why I started having a stroke halfway through that sentence, but there you go. No, you were supposed to fix the problem, not join it. God damn. By the way, guys, I will be signing off shortly, so thanks for sticking with me, I guess. Oh, it did fix it, it just didn't compile properly. That's great, thank you. Sick. Well, I now know that my code works nicely. It's awesome. Let me close Facebook for a second so I'm not getting annoying alerts on the last of what I'm doing. One thing I need to do actually is set unique models for the side pieces. I think I started doing that, or I was going to, and then got sidetracked with the upside down thing, so let's just do that quickly. Just test it out. Right, where to start? So those are the planes, planes, planes. Now we've got rectangle sides, and then that's the... Yep, that's the grass material. Left. And then try right. Remember, so these can be updated independently of the material type. So whenever we add a new type into this, all we have to do is expand the case and basically say, look, we want to add these particular properties in for this shape. That includes an upside down model, as well as yeah, so it includes the upside down top. Well, let's put it this way, because I'm fumbling my words now. That includes the normal and the inverted orientation separately for the blocks. So let's say we have a set of stairs for, like, I don't know, maybe we've textured the ramp for the brick type to be a set of stone stairs. Let's say then we invert that. That might just turn into a sloping roof, like ceiling kind of thing, because obviously you don't have stairs that are upside down, generally speaking, unless we made a specialist model type for that. And the sides, no matter what, would remain stone, and it would just be inverted. Although in theory we could also expand it so that the side pieces could be changed depending on the orientation as well. And that wouldn't be much more extra effort, to be honest. That would just be doing exactly what I just did. That didn't recompile again. Is it on drugs? Or did I just update the wrong part? Well, it definitely did update. Oh, now it's working. Stupid thing. That's why Unreal just likes to piss around sometimes. I'm quite curious to know actually how much that has improved performance across the board, because actually I've not converted all the pieces over yet. It's just the block types, the cubes, sorry. So once all of the new stuff goes in, performance should be really smooth now, like really smooth. Because we're basically preloading all of the materials as well at the start, and we're just creating new instances of those in on the GPU, which shouldn't be a problem. Like it's not like we're saying, here's an entirely new model with an entirely new texture, re-render this. It's like, you've already got it, just have another one. So performance should be great now. Obviously though, we do need to convert over all of these other blocks to the new system, to the new instance mesh system, but it's probably not that much of an issue, to be honest. Probably won't be too difficult. Let me just test some stuff. We'll grab the ellipsoid, scale it up a bit, load a bunch of those in. That was actually quite smooth, I'm not gonna lie. Quick, I mean. Wow, that's pretty I'm actually impressed. Obviously it'll get laggy with these special pieces in, but wow. Genuinely, I'm impressed that that's worked so well. That's sick. That's really cool. Awesome. Genuinely, that was really cool. I do need to. One thing I need to update actually is, as far as I'm concerned, some of these patterns aren't exactly how I'd like them to be. So what I mean by that is, I don't know if I can see it now because I've just covered it over with loads of shit, but basically the ideal, to me, the ideal block smoothing that would happen on this corner, for example, so there's 3 voxels here, right? The ideal thing that would happen is this middle inner piece would have one corner lowered, and these would turn into, basically all of the points that converge here would lower one. Then it would neatly merge into the floor. The old implementation of how we did this used to do it, but there were issues with that system, which I think I explained in the blog post that I wrote for this. I can't remember. I might reiterate it at some point. But basically, there were issues where when you were flipping them around, it wouldn't quite smooth properly, and it had like loads of issues. So I simplified it, streamlined it loads, made it work really well. But unfortunately, it's like seemed to have simplified the rule set in the process. So we can reintroduce that complexity in, and I'll definitely revisit that algorithm once some of the more basic features are done. This, however, is sick. The fact that this is all working no problem is insane to me. It's great, and like you can brush outside of the map. There's no issues whatsoever. That's awesome. That's a bit odd, obviously. That shouldn't happen. Oops. Don't know what's gone on there. I'll investigate that at some point. That just seems like a minor thing. Maybe it's just not cleaning up all the blocks properly. I think I know what it's doing actually. Because I've not updated all of the blocks over to the new system yet, so there's still multiple conflicts with what's going on, but hopefully once that's all in it should be sorted, and if not I'll investigate that specific bug and get that fixed. But yeah, this all works really well. Like, I'm actually really impressed. I'm really happy with it. But anyway, I will sign off there, so thank you for watching. Hope this has been informative as well, because I've learned a lot today. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a nice week.